Hello everyone, welcome to today's session, Strategize with Get.Set.Law. Today we are going to talk about a very important topic, which is 5 ways to score 22 plus in English language. So if you are a serious CLAT aspirant, you already know that in CLAT, English section has roughly 25 questions. And if you are to expect 22 plus, that means everything has to be on point. It has to be very good accuracy, very good speed, and of course, that doesn't come easy. So in today's discussion, short discussion, brief discussion, I am going to help you with how to get there. Now, I really hope that you have already taken some mocks and you have a fair idea of what you're scoring right now. So no problem if you're scoring under 10, because I think the journey is pretty much possible. From under 10, you could go 22 plus. Yes, we do not have a lot of time, but we still have got 3 months and a lot can happen in 3 months. Let's understand how. Question selection and option elimination. Now, every serious student definitely knows how and when to select a question. Which kind of question is my kind of question and which kind of question is not my kind of question. That means you not only have complete awareness of the pattern of the paper, but you also have very good awareness of your own skills. Right? So you really need to get better at which question to solve and which question to leave. And remember, you do not have to solve everything. Even the topper of the paper is not going to do that. So it's very important to understand how to do the question selection. I'll tell you more about it as we go forward. And another art here is the art of eliminating option choices. So then you will settle down for something which is relevant to the question, which gives you a complete answer. But of course, you will get rid of anything which is incomplete or which is bringing alien perspective into the picture. And of course, there are many more things that you will yourself understand as and when you solve more questions. But this is the single most important factor for you to get better at scoring. That means understand which question is the easy one for you. And also, remember, this is a subjective thing. So I can't tell you right now that all such questions will be easy for you, because this keeps varying as per the paper, as per the student. But yes, the rule of thumb is any question which is a direct question, obviously stated in the text, is an easy question. Any question that really requires you to think a lot, that is a tricky question, right? But you understand to gauge from the first look what should be a good question for me to solve, right? And when it comes to option elimination, you learn what kind of options usually work and what kind of options do not work. Now let us learn the concept of first look, second look, so on and so forth. So every serious student always makes sure that he first looks at the paper and tries to do whatever comes very naturally to him. Okay, and afterwards comes back for questions that are more time consuming and more demanding in terms of skills. It's never a good idea to do everything as and when it comes to you. It's always a good idea to kind of filter. So first look, I'm going to do something which is the right fit for my skills. Then the second look, I'm going to do something which didn't work out for me in the beginning, but then I'm going to circle back to it. I'm sort of bookmarking it and circle back to it. Always remember that concept. Now, it will definitely help to build a good lexical resource. What exactly do I mean by that? Just very simply speaking, your reading will get faster, you will score better in all sorts of vocabulary questions if your lexical resource is developed. That means if you have good command on vocabulary, word power, and mind you, I don't mean only the high frequency words, you would also need to know the common phrasal verbs, common idioms, common proverbs, common foreign phrases, because all of them are more or less asked in the paper. The writer uses them, and if you have good lexical resource, then some questions are easily doable for you when they are asking a contextual meaning or when they are asking you to look at the word and provide a synonym. Those kind of questions you can easily handle. So starting today, start working on your lexical resource. Now, we all know that it's an exam that requires reading stamina, doesn't it? Because 3 out of 5 sections require you to read, and it's a 2-hour reading. It's not a very short span. You really need to train yourself for reading for longer periods. It's fine if we sit in a class and read for 5 minutes, then have a discussion for 10 minutes, or we take a small test. The test lasts for half an hour, but it really is a very different deal when you're dealing with a 2-hour paper. So make sure that your reading stamina is good. Make sure that you have such sittings where your concentration is really high and you're doing nothing else but solving a lot of questions. And I'm sure you will get faster and better as your reading stamina goes up. The fatigue errors will also obviously come down. Yes, that's a reality. When we get tired and if we do not have the enough stamina, the fatigue errors will start to creep in. Otherwise, you would get the question right, but just because you're very tired right now, you are not able to get it right. What about eclectic reading? So eclectic reading covers a lot of variety of topics, and it is really imperative that you read something from a legal background to it, because legal aptitude section most probably will ask passages from those topics, or what are the legal news happening in the country in this month. Don't limit yourself to just one genre. So not just fiction, not just non-fiction, not just history, not just philosophy, but all of it and more. So make sure your reading is very diverse, very eclectic, sometimes newspapers, sometimes magazines, sometimes novels. A different kind of material will really make you a very mature and a very seasoned reader who's prepared for every kind of passage that is thrown his or her way. Now in CLAT, they mostly ask you passages which have a bearing on the Indian context. Something which is written by Indian authors, mostly something which has an impact on Indian lives. So if you stick to an Indian newspaper, I think that will do the job. Finally, we are going to talk about accuracy versus the speed dilemma. Doesn't it always happen that if I read fast, my accuracy goes down? And if I read slow, then I understand everything and my accuracy goes up, but I'm only able to solve a few questions. So that means with practice, calibration, mentorship, you will be required to hit a fine balance between accuracy and speed. So I'll just throw a few numbers at you. If you are dealing with the English section of CLAT, you should be able to complete it in 25 minutes, max 30 minutes. Do not take more time than that. Plan yourself, pace yourself in such a way that you take only 25 to 30 minutes. Now, if we are hoping to score 22 plus, that means you pretty much have to attempt everything. But then an 80, 85%, 90% accuracy, which is kind of very high, but considering CLAT is an easy paper, it has got easy text to read, will get you there. So those are the numbers you keep in mind. And when you practice on a daily basis, remember that a 50% accuracy is just not going to do the job. It is really bare minimum. You will have to at least go up to 80%. Okay, so let me just very quickly run you through all the things that we discussed to score a good score. And see, this is connected. So if you're going to score 22 plus in English, I am pretty sure that you will be able to manage a similar score in critical reasoning. And those two sections itself are very big sections, will give you a huge boost in terms of your rank and finally the college that you are going to get. So please remember that accuracy and speed have to be balanced in a fine way. You can't compromise one to get to the other. You have to get better at question selection, option elimination. Those are the skills of a smart test taker. Remember, it's a lot about managing the paper, not just about having the right knowledge. Build your vocabulary. It's a reading paper. You will of course need vocabulary. Build your reading stamina. It's a reading-based paper. If you don't read, you just won't be able to do it. So that's all from my side today. I hope this was informative. I'll see you very soon again.